Hello Eagle Nation, and welcome to this episode of Season 9 of W-EPS The Beak. I'm Andrea Hansen. Coming back from Christmas break, seniors hit the ground running. With graduation quickly approaching, they have many things on their to-do list. According to guidance counselor Sonia Rittscher, there are some specific tasks they should be working on.
Well, this time of year, you should have your applications in to colleges. You should have your FAFSA done. You should have some college visits in. So you have some idea. You're narrowing it down to which college, if that's the path that you want to go on. And then you're probably working on scholarships. Local scholarships in particular are should be taking up a lot of their time.
Rittscher Senior Strategy class has given several a leg up on the process.
Senior Strategies class is a really nice class to be in, especially if your next steps are going to college. We have space and time for kids and students at that time to work on exactly what we need to be working on. In fact, right now, my Senior Strategy students are working on a third quarter scholarship project where, depending on the amount of scholarships that they apply for, that is the determinant of their grade. So they get space and time to work on that. We also do work on some life skill type of building with the Habitudes book. And we just did a chapter on baggage fees, which they just kind of, the author of the book considers traveling, makes the analogy of travel to the next steps in college. And so baggage fees just kind of talk about how you might find some things that are in life that become unexpected. And so like a baggage fee, you didn't know you were going to have that. So you're just going to have to make some slight adjustments to what you're doing. So we talk about a lot of that as well. So I really feel like it's a really nice piece for kids, especially if your next step is college.
As far as scholarships, Rittscher suggests some common websites.
At Elgin Public School, we switched over to an online resource called App Century a couple of years ago, and that's where I house all of my local scholarships, and I keep those updated as soon as they roll across my desk or come in my email. I get those updated and on there. They also have not just our local ones, but they have some state ones and some national ones listed there as well. I also encourage kids to take a look at Education Quest. They do a good job of keeping scholarships on their directory that are safe and legit and not scams. So those are two of the places that I definitely would encourage kids to look for scholarships.
The guidance counselor believes developing certain qualities will ensure success for the future graduates.
Having goals and having a good sense of your values, those are good steps. Understand that you might make mistakes. Be comfortable with that. Be curious. And don't be afraid, but be safe. But those are the big ones that I would encourage kids. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because that's really the only way you're going to learn. But be persistent, have some grit, perseverance, stay true to your values. All of those are all good ones. And definitely, I always ask kids when I see them, if they're my past graduates, are you going to class? That's always a good thing. So go to class, and also always just don't be afraid to check in and ask for help. You definitely want to have your people. You want to have your core support systems and in place, and then always feel free to lean on them. So those are some of the good qualities and things that I encourage kids to consider when they're leaving home.
She also has a lot of good advice for underclassmen.
Definitely be attacking your classes. Don't get lazy. Your GPA is very important. Your class rank is very important. Take the harder classes. Don't be afraid to get a C. That just gives you exposure to some learning. Definitely try to strive for a higher grade, obviously, but embrace the learning that you can get so that you can get that ACT score. But the ACT doesn't mean everything. The GPA can be a really good balance and be encouraging for scholarship and admittance into some colleges. So definitely be working on that. Also, be involved in something, have a job, get some recommendation, people on your side, that type of thing. Finish what you start. Always end in good standing in whatever you're in. But being involved in things, there is a possibility that you learn really good habits, and that it's not easy to belong to things, and you just have to stick with it. And there is something to be said for knowing your role and accepting your role in whatever activity you're in, and embracing that, and just keeping your head up and trying your best, and that's what you need to do to belong.
Many of EPS's seniors have been busy following Rittscher's suggestions.
Currently working on local scholarships. Yeah, working on scholarships and just making important decisions for the future.
I am filling out scholarships right now and just trying to get as many of those done as I can.
I'm making a list of what I want for college and ideas for people to get me for graduation gifts.
However, many are also focused on the fun part.
Right now I'm making my invitation cards. I'm just trying to get through the school year, but also making sure that my mom's planning the party and getting everything done so that I don't have to do it.
I'm working on getting all my party supplies and my graduation list and making sure we get invites sent out.
I am figuring out what I want for food at my graduation party and just like creating a guest list and making sure everything is ready to go.
Just taking it day by day. Separate stuff to talk about each day with my parents.
Though they are currently on the right track, they know there will be challenges.
I would say the hardest part is having to remember that I'm not going to have my family there all the time and making sure I have everything ready.
I would say learning how to wash my clothes and dry them.
Probably just accepting the fact that it's going to be here before we know it.
I think the most challenging part is not really knowing what I want to do exactly yet, because when people get to college they switch their majors right away and I'm not really 100% sure I'm on the right path, so that's kind of challenging, not knowing.
And just not knowing what the future holds, because it can change in an instant.
However, the students can't wait for the next phase in their lives.
Freedom, definitely, because I won't have my parents hovering over me and I kind of get to do what I want, but also have my own responsibility and be accountable for myself.
Basically, same thing, freedom, but also being able to make my own decisions for myself and just not be home during the week and only come back on the weekends. So that's what I'm most excited about.
I'm most excited to see if I'm going to stick with radiology technology or if I end up not liking it. I'm hoping I do because I don't really have a backup plan, but I'm really excited to see if that's really what I want to do.
For me, I'm most excited for meeting new people, new friends, and making new memories.
I'm excited to meet new people too, as well as just seeing how far I can go in the future. And I'm also excited to see where my classmates go and what we're able to accomplish.
Many have found Rittscher's Senior Strategies class helpful.
Yes, I have. It's been helpful because it's just a designated time to work on scholarships.
Yeah, I'm taking Senior Strategies also, and it's been helpful because it forces me to work on scholarships. Because I have a bad tendency not to do it at home. And also, we read out of a book that teaches us important steps to take when making decisions, so that helps too.
Yes, it has been helpful because it gives me the chance to work on scholarships during the week so I don't have to use all of my own time. And also we do habitudes, which is basically getting your mindset ready for college, and like that you have the ability to do things on your own, and just how taking the next step is important.
And now that they are here, they do have some advice to offer the underclassmen.
One thing I was kind of worried about that I found out was not that big was the ACT. I feel like my advice is don't stress too much about it because it's really not that bad. And make sure you have a good idea of what you want for your graduation, and make sure you have a good idea of what you want to do, because it's much easier when it gets to graduation.
I would apply to as many colleges as you want and fill out as many scholarships as you can, because that's going to be beneficial in the long run. And just enjoy it while it's here, because you're going to have to go off on your own, and being in high school isn't so bad after all.
Start on your stuff as early as you can, so that way you're not trying to cram it in all last second, and then just live your life. Make a lot of memories, because once high school's gone, you're gonna miss it.
Some advice I would give would be to get your hard classes done early. I would say think about your future and do things in advance. For example, like using your college visit your junior year, I'd say getting on campus early is a great thing to do, just so that when the time comes, you're kind of prepared and it doesn't just engulf you unexpectedly.
Thank you, Mrs. Rittscher and seniors, for taking the time to visit with us, and thank you for joining us for this episode of The Beak. Be sure to check out our newsletter, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Instagram at W-EPS The Beak, on air, in print, in the know.